You are dead to this family. Look at you, a complete embarrassment. You drag our name through the mud while your sister builds an empire." My mother's voice shrieked through the microphone, echoing off the high ceilings of the country club ballroom. 300 people, investors, local politicians, and high society family friends instantly went dead silent. Gasps rippled through the crowd. I stood in the center aisle, frozen in my formal Army service uniform, my chest pinned with a bronze star and captain's bars. I hadn't even changed. I drove straight from the base to surprise my family at my younger sister Chloe's engagement party. Instead of a hug, my mother, Eleanor, intercepted me at the entrance, snatched the microphone from the DJ, and humiliated me in front of everyone. Beside her stood Chloe, wearing a $5,000 designer dress, smirking. Next to Chloe was her fiancé, Brad, a guy who sneered at me like I was dirt on his expensive Italian shoes. My father just stood in the background, sipping his scotch, looking away. "Mom, what are you talking about?" I asked, my voice tight, trying to maintain my military discipline while my heart battered against my ribs. The raw, suffocating pain of public humiliation felt worse than any mortar attack I'd survived. "Don't mom me," Eleanor barked into the mic, her face contorted in cartoonish arrogance. "You didn't contribute a single dime to this beautiful celebration. You spend your life playing soldier in the dirt, while Chloe is the CEO of a thriving logistics firm. You're a leech, Sarah. Get out of my sight. You're dismissed." The crowd started whispering, throwing daggers with their eyes. "Look at her. How ungrateful," a woman whispered nearby. "Disgraceful," another muttered. My face burned with agonizing humiliation. I turned on my heel and marched out of the ballroom, the heavy oak doors slamming shut behind me. The cool night air hit my face, but before I could even draw a clean breath, my phone buzzed violently in my hand. It was a text from my father. "Don't come back to the house. We've changed the gate codes. Your childhood things are in trash bags on the curb. You've embarrassed your mother for the last time by showing up uninvited in that ridiculous outfit." A cold fury began to replace the pain. A ridiculous outfit? This uniform represented blood, sweat, and tears. But the real joke? They thought Chloe was a genius CEO. They thought they bought that massive house. 3 years ago, my father's real estate business collapsed. They were on the brink of homelessness and total social ruin. Because I loved them, I used my specialized military intelligence background and security clearance to secure a highly lucrative government logistics contract. But because active duty officers can't legally run private defense firms, I put the company in Chloe's name. I was the ghostwriter. I built the logistics network. I secured the clearance. Every single dollar funding Chloe's luxury cars, my mother's plastic surgeries, and this exact country club party came directly from my sweat and my military connections. They didn't build an empire. I built it, and I let them play dress-up in it. They genuinely believed their own lie. My phone buzzed again. A notification from my bank. Account access revoked. Chloe and my mother had just used their administrative access to lock me out of the corporate operational accounts. They were trying to completely wipe me out, leaving me stranded with nothing. I sat in my car, staring at my steering wheel. Suddenly, my military group chat blew up. My fellow officers were sending me screenshots. Chloe had just posted a massive public statement on Facebook and LinkedIn. It featured a picture of me looking tense at the entrance of the ballroom. The caption read, "Tonight, my estranged sister, Sarah, stormed into my engagement party high on military authority, demanding money and threatening my guests. It breaks my heart to see how the military has ruined her mind. We have officially severed all ties with this unstable woman. Please stay away from her." The comments were already flooded with hate. "Disgusting behavior. Lock her up." That was the exact moment something flipped inside me. the agonizing pain vanished, replaced by a freezing, calculated military focus. They wanted a war. They had no idea who they were dealing with. They thought I was just a submissive daughter they could kick around. They forgot that I orchestrate tactical operations for a living. I pulled out my secure military-issued tablet. I didn't need complex legal battles. I needed fast, brutal, and absolute operational shutdown. With 5 taps on my screen, I initiated an emergency security revocation. Since the defense contract was tied directly to my personal government security profile, I officially flagged the logistics firm for immediate ownership dispute and potential security compromise. Instantly, the corporate credit cards froze. The funding lines snapped shut. The main server access was severed. I cut off their money, locked the accounts, and neutralized their access in less than 60 seconds. As I initiated the shutdown, I noticed a sleek, black SUV with tinted windows parked across the street. The headlights flashed twice. Through the dark windshield, I could make out the silhouette of a man wearing a crisp military cover, a high-ranking official. He had been watching the entire country club sequence from afar. Who was he? And why was he tracking my family's event? I didn't have time to dwell on it. I had a mission to finish. I stepped out of my car, adjusted my uniform cover, and marched right back toward the country club. I wasn't hiding. I walked back into the grand ballroom. The moment I pushed the doors open, the room went quiet again. My mother spotted me and her eyes turned vicious. She marched right down the center stage, Chloe and Brad following her like lapdogs. "Are you deaf, Sarah?" Eleanor screamed, her voice cracking through the room. "I told you you're dead to us. Security is already on their way to throw your pathetic, jealous self into the gutter where you belong. Look at her, everyone. She can't stand that her sister is a millionaire at 25 while she's just a government servant." Chloe stepped forward, tossing her hair. "Give it up, Sarah. You're pathetic. You have nothing. I own the company, I own the contract, and you are officially erased." The guests started jeering, laughing at me, completely brainwashed by my mother's performance. The collective arrogance in the room was suffocating. They thought they had won. "Is there a problem here?" A deep, commanding voice boomed from the back of the ballroom. The sheer authority in that voice made everyone turn around instantly. Walking down the aisle was the man from the black SUV. The crowd gasped, and several local politicians dropped their glasses. It was Major General Thomas Vance, a legendary 4-star commander and the head of the entire regional military procurement and defense logistics command. He was a man who handled multi-billion-dollar government operations. My mother's jaw dropped. She instantly shifted into her fake, high society smile. "General Vance! Oh my goodness, what an honor! Please excuse this mess. We are just dealing with my unstable, jealous daughter. She's causing a scene at our company's celebration." General Vance didn't even look at her. He marched straight up to me, brought his hand up, and gave me a crisp, respectful salute. "Captain Davis," General Vance said, his voice echoing clearly across the silent ballroom. "Captain Davis, I received your security alert. I am here to personally confirm the status of the Tier 1 logistics contract." Chloe blinked, looking confused and panicked. "Wait, General? You mean my contract? I'm the CEO of Vanguard Logistics." General Vance finally turned his icy stare toward Chloe and my mother. "You, the CEO? Don't make me laugh, young lady. You don't even have the basic security clearance to look at the cover page of that contract." General Vance pulled out a heavy, leather-bound military dossier and opened it. He pulled out official federal documents, holding them up for the entire crowd, the investors and the cameras to see. "Let me make this crystal clear for everyone in this room," General Vance announced. "This company is entirely owned, operated and sustained by the intellectual property and security credentials of Captain Sarah Davis. This family has spent the last 3 years embezzling corporate funds for personal luxury, entirely violating federal defense guidelines. The ballroom erupted into chaotic whispers. My mother's face drained of all color, turning a ghostly white. Chloe looked like she was about to vomit. Brad quietly stepped back, trying to detach himself from Chloe's side. "Sarah, how could you do this to your own family?" Eleanor shrieked, her voice desperate, losing all its previous arrogance. "We are your parents. Chloe is your sister. You're ruining our lives." I stepped forward, looking my mother dead in the eye. The agonizing pain was completely gone, replaced by a cold, unshakable peace. "You told me I was dead to this family, Mom," I said, my voice calm, sharp, and lethal. "So consider this my final ghost-written report. The company is officially liquidated. The house is being repossessed by the Defense Department by morning, and your security clearances are permanently revoked." I looked at Chloe, who was now weeping openly, clutching her fiancé's arm, but Brad pushed her away, horrified of being tied to a federal fraud investigation. "You wanted to see what a millionaire looks like, Chloe. You should have looked at the sister who was secretly paying your bills. Enjoy the bankruptcy." Within minutes, the country club staff escorted my family out of the building as the investors and friends completely turned on them, demanding their money back. The local politicians scrambled to distance themselves, leaving Eleanor and Chloe screaming and crying on the pavement outside, their social status completely obliterated. As I walked out of the venue alongside General Vance, I realized a profound truth. You can never cure a toxic, envious family with your own sacrifice. They will gladly drink your blood and then blame you for bleeding. Your worth isn't determined by the people who fail to see it. Stand tall, protect your boundaries, and never let anyone make you feel small for serving a higher purpose.